Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Welcome to Flames Warframes, and today we have an episode that I've been looking forward to for quite some time, and that is the Excalibur episode. Now, before I get into, like, I don't know, just the main content of the video, I would just like to say thank you guys for watching. Please do like the video and please do subscribe to my channel if you want more of this content. I have noticed that my Warframe videos get viewed considerably more than my other videos. Namely, the past two Warframe videos that I've done regarding Equinox and Ember have done especially well. Well, I mean, it's 23 views, but that's better than two, so I'm very thankful for it. Thank you for enjoying this experience with me, and allow me to show you the poster boy of Warframes. So, let me just bring you guys over here. This is Excalibur, base Excalibur. And the reason I'm showing you base Excalibur is because I don't have a base Excalibur or Excalibur Prime. Why do I not have either of these, but I'm still doing this video? Well, because I have Excalibur Umbra, but I will get into that in a minute just after I go over base Excalibur's abilities. First and foremost, passive ability is that he simply just deals more damage and attacks faster with swords. Uh, his first ability, Slash Dash, pretty simple. He just pulls out a sword, runs up to the nearest enemy, and cuts them. The second ability, Radial Blind, he just raises his hand and makes enemies in his area blind. Third ability, Radial Javelin, pins enemies to walls. And his fourth ability is the original Exalted Weapon, aka the Exalted Blade. He pulls out a sword and he fights with it. And I will show you guys some of the augments after I explain a bit about Excalibur Umbra. So, you might be wondering why I'm not covering Excalibur Umbra with the U's, and I have good reason for that. See, Excalibur Umbra is a unique variant of Excalibur because he is Excalibur with lore. Base Excalibur and base Excalibur doesn't have lore, and Excalibur Prime kind of has lore, but I'm not going to get into him because he's not even playable unless you're a founder, which, if you're watching these because you're getting into Warframe now, sorry, you can't get Excalibur Prime. But hey, neither can I, so we're even. Anyway, Excalibur Umbra is unique because you acquire him from a very important lore quest called, let me just pull it up in the codex here. Warframe Quest, or no, actually, it's not in Warframe Quests. It is in main quests called the Sacrifice. Sacrifice is where we get introduced to Umbra, who is not just a Warframe, but also a character. He is the only Warframe that is, to some degree, sentient slash cognizant outside of the operator's influence. So, another thing, his abilities are somewhat different. For one thing, he has Excalibur's regular passive, but he also, because he's like the only really sentient Warframe, he can like do his own thing without the operator being in control. But he does also have the damage and faster attacks with swords. He also, instead of having Radial Blind, he has Radial Howl, which doesn't blind your enemies, but it stuns them, and causes sentience to shed built-up resistances. Yeah, this guy was basically made for fighting sentience, which is why they gave him his own special mods, too. Excalibur has regular augment mods, but then we have Umbral mods, which are Umbral versions of pre-existing mods intensify for ability strength, fiber for armor, and vitality for health, which are basically just versions of these mods that are not only like equal in how good they are to the base versions of the mods when fully upgraded, but they also function better together because when you have multiple of them equipped, you just get a higher stat. So like Unreal Intensify with all the other Umbral mods, you get 75, 77 more ability strength. But if you just had Umbral Intensify and none of the other Umbral mods, then you just get like 45% ability strength. So yeah, that can be very, very useful. So moving away from Umbral mods, uh, we have a mod for his first ability called Purging Slash, which makes it so Slash Dash, uh, allies in the path of Slash Dash have 4 debuffs removed and 70% shields restored. If you're asking me why I don't use that, I don't play Umbra very often, or just Excalibur in general. Furious Javelin, Radial Javelin Augment. Each enemy hit will increase Excalibur's melee damage by 15% for 16 seconds. That is very good, and I can see why I have it in this mod config. Don't know why I don't use this more often. Anyway, then there's Chromatic Blade, which is an Exalted Blade augment, which makes it so that when you like change the energy on your Exalted Blade, because you can customize it, when you change I think it's wait, huh? What? Hold on. Maybe it's just Umbra's ability color. Appearance. Oh, so it's this color. So when you change around this color with Umbra, it makes it so that his sword does different elements of damage. So like purple is electricity, warmer colors are heat, that kind of stuff. But yeah, how long has this gone? Oh geez, this has been 7.5 minutes. Uh but yeah, that's basically it for Excalibur and Excalibur Umbra's abilities. But what about their lore? Well, you learn their lore in the Sacrifice quest. So if you don't want spoilers for that quest, then go ahead and click off the video now. Uh, or actually, wait, don't do that yet, because I have to tell you guys about acquisition. Now, in order to acquire Excalibur, I don't actually remember what you do. Uh, Give me a sec, I'll look this up on my phone. Uh, Alright. Oh, it's Lect Krill. Oh. Ugh. Good thing I got this guy as my starter frame. So, in case you guys are a bit unaware, basically when you begin Warframe, you get to choose one of 3 starter frames, Volt, Mag, or Excalibur. And I chose Excalibur as my first Warframe, kind of like choosing your first Pokemon. But if you want to get him the regular way, War on Mars? Or, no, don't do that. I believe it's War on Mars, but you have to beat Lieutenant Lect Krill, who is a pain in the butt to fight. So yeah, there's that, and then as for Excalibur Prime, I already said you can't really get them anymore because the Founders packs are out. But if you want to get Excalibur Umbra, then you just have to complete the sacrifice, which does require that you complete a lot of these other quests, such as War Within, Second Dream, uh, Heart of Deimos, Vor's Prize, that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, acquisition out of the way, I will go into a bit of Umbra's lore. So just allow me to transfer back to talking head mode. Basically, what happened with Excalibur Umbra is that he was a Dax soldier in the era of the Orcan Executors, and he particularly got on the bad side of this Orcan Executor named Ballas. Now, Ballas is the guy who the Warframe community hates unconditionally. Not without reason, he is a terrible person. And one of the reasons he's a terrible person is what he did to Excalibur Umbra. Basically, what happened is when Umbra was a Dax soldier, he basically was sneaking around doing something, and he discovered that Ballas was making a deal to end the war with the sentients. He was colluding behind the backs of the other Orcan with Hun Hao, Sentient Destroyer of Worlds, the general who is also like ridiculously powerful. Basically, what Ballas did is he made a bargain, or not really a bargain, he made a deal with Hun Hao to end the conflict in exchange for Hun Hao's daughter for purposes, which I'm not going to explain. Uh, Now, here is another thing. Um, Basically, Ballas found out that Umbra knew what he was doing, so he had to silence him. But rather than just killing him, he infected him with a specific strain of the infestation, and what that ended up doing was turning him into a Warframe. But Ballas apparently decided that Umbra needed a bit more punishment. So what did he do? Well, he drove Umbra insane with the Warframe ending and proceeded to have him murder his own son, and then did some weird void voodoo crap magic to make it so that that memory is the only thing that Umbra is able to remember for like decades, centuries, and possibly millennia. I don't even know how long ago this happened. Hundreds, thousands of years ago. How long ago it happened only matters if you're considerate, or if you're like trying to calculate exactly how much trauma Umbra suffered. But let's say it was sufficient to drive him insane. Basically, what happens in the sacrifice is we, the Tenno, find him in a ridiculous and distressed state. You might be wondering how he's still alive. Well, Warframes are immortal. Anyway, basically what ends up happening is we track him down across Earth, or wherever he is. I don't remember if it's Earth, but it's probably Earth. But we track him down across wherever he is, and basically we end up in like an arrangement of mutual hatred towards this person, Ballas, who is still around somehow. And yeah, we basically work together to make an attempt on his life. That attempt on his life is unfortunately unsuccessful, but I am also unfortunately out of time. So again, please and thank you. Leave a like on this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this, maybe watch some of my other content, and I will see you all later.